When the Boston Celtics drafted Hugo Gonzalez with the 28th pick in last year's draft, this is what ESPN said about the pick. Gonzalez would have made more sense for Boston as a stash pick who would come over later in his development. Instead, Brad Stevens indicated the Celtics plan to bring him to the NBA next season. And this right here is why this tweet was made, because even though he's not a coach anymore, Brad Stevens is still a basketball genius. And for a team who everyone thought was going to struggle, after not only losing Jason Tatum, but 4 of their top 6 players, the Celtics have done what they always do. They have found a way to make it work. And for the draft experts who thought Hugo Gonzalez was a project or thought he would take time to make an impact in the NBA, you were wrong. Brad Stevens was right. Because if there is one way to make an impact in the NBA, it is working harder than everyone else on the floor. And that is exactly what Hugo Gonzalez does. Just look at this play where Hugo is initially guarding Khalil Ware. He switches onto Powell, he contains the drive, and then just when you think the Heat have an open shot, he gets out to the three-point line and blocks the shot. Or how about his standout performance from this season, in which we saw 6'6" Hugo Gonzalez guarding Karl Anthony Towns for multiple possessions, just like here where Brown is defending Cat, and watch Hugo come over at just the right time to force the turnover. Or on this play where this time he helps off Josh Hart and the verticality to contest Cat without fouling, forcing another turnover. And if you want to see versatility, Hugo has that as well. Because how about going from guarding Cat to then guarding Jalen Brunson? And as Brunson tries his rip-through move, look at him get in there and strip it from him before helping the Celtics score in transition. And Reggie Miller was a fan of what he was seeing.
Give me more of Gonzalez on the floor. This young man just does everything for your team.
Even just a little thing from this game where you see him boxing out Mitchell Robinson, that's not a highlight play, but it's also an example of what happens when you spend years playing at a senior level as a young player and then come to the NBA and already know all of the little things and how to help your team. And when he's not flying around on defense, this is what he's doing on both ends of the floor, crashing the offensive and defensive glass. Look no further than his recent game against the Heat. 10 points, 8 rebounds, 3 stocks, a plus 22 in 30 minutes. That's what you call impact. Just look at here as Jalen brings the ball up in transition. Hugo could easily give up on this play, but he never does. As Jordan Walsh tips the initial ball, and Gonzalez comes all the way from the three-point line to tip in the second loose ball. Or from the same game, this time off a Hauser missed 3, he just wants the ball more than everyone else on the floor. And I know what you're thinking. Is this guy really going to make a video about someone averaging less than 4 points per game? Yes I am. Because not every point is created equally, and Hugo Gonzalez is finding ways to make an impact that go beyond just scoring 10 points on any given night. I'm not about to tell you he's a star right now, but you guys know who Joe Mazula is, right? Joe Mazula does not randomly trust players. I don't think Joe Mazula trusts anyone.
What is it meant to see your brother get his, start with Utah over the last, couple of years here and, see him kind of develop his own career out there?
Yeah, I mean, he works for the other team.
Let alone a 19-year-old rookie, but somehow he has earned the trust, or at least the respect, of Joe Mazula, and that alone should tell you he is doing something right. And every single quote you hear from Celtics players or coaches about Hugo Gonzalez have the same things in common. He is a dog. Jordan Walsh literally said that.
I think I just see him being a dog, it's just like every day, everywhere. You just see the way he works out. It's kind of like he's just like zipping, so it's also cool to see.
And the 2 leaders of the team said the same thing as well. I think we just came into the season and he showed and proved through his work ethic, his maturity, but really his defensive instincts that he can play at this level. And if you want an example of that work ethic, that relentless nature he has on defense, Cam Whitmore gets the ball at half court. And pause here. Here is Cam Whitmore, and here is Hugo Gonzalez. Look at the effort from Hugo to sprint all the way down the floor, not giving up on the play, and then swatting Whitmore from behind. And it's one thing to play with effort on defense. That can get you to a good level, but what takes you to the next level is also having the physical attributes and measurements to become an elite defender. And one thing Hugo has going for him is at 6'6", he has a 6'11" wingspan, which shows up on plays like this, where Edwards pumps fakes, drives, and kicks it to Grimes. And look at the anticipation. He recognizes the second it touches Grimes' hands, he's trying to pass that off and does an incredible job at using that length to pick it off. And one of the hardest things to do defensively, particularly as a rookie, is stay attached to shooters when they come around screens. We know about Steph Curry, but it's not just Steph Curry. The JJ Redicks of the world, the Duncan Robinsons, I could say, which is why I love a play like this, where he's initially guarding Robinson, Duncan gives it up, gets it back from Duren, and look at Hugo get around the screen from Duren, staying attached to Robinson and forcing the turnover. Now, I haven't mentioned much about the offense because there isn't a whole lot to talk about offensively. Hugo Gonzalez is making his minutes count on defense, and what he is doing offensively is he is filling in the gaps where he can. He is crashing the offensive glass, he has been knocking down three-point shots, he has been a smart cutter, he has been a screener, all of the little things you want, and all of the little things you see on defense, he's doing that on offense as well. As of now, we haven't seen the star upside on the offensive side of the floor, but we saw times with Real Madrid that he has more to his game than we are seeing right now.
Gonzalez again. Add another one to the list of...
The most important thing, and it is very boring, but it is true, is his three-point shooting. Last year at Real Madrid, he did not shoot well from three-point range, and that was a big reason people saw him as a late first or even early second round draft pick because of the shooting. So far, he has been fantastic shooting the ball, and what this does is not only obviously provide spacing, but for himself, it then allows him to put the ball on the floor and make plays. Like this time where Pritchard finds him in the corner. He pump fakes the three, puts the ball on the floor, and then throws it down. He's only scratching the surface of what he could do offensively, but defensively, we're already seeing he's going to be really impactful on that end of the floor. And for a coach who loves defense, he's going to keep getting minutes, even with the return of Jason Tatum. And for the 28th pick, that's a steal, in my opinion.